The terrorist, he's watching by Wislawa Szymborska. The bomb in the bar will explode at 13:20. Now it's just 13:16. There's still time for some to go in. And some to come out. The terrorist has already crossed the street. That distance keeps him out of danger. And what a view, just like the movies. A woman in a yellow jacket, she's going in. A man in dark glasses, he's coming out. Teenagers in jeans, they're talking. 13:17 and 4 seconds. The short one, he's lucky, he's getting on a scooter. But the tall one, he's going in. 13:17 and 40 seconds. That girl, she's walking along with a green ribbon in her hair. But then a bus suddenly pulls in front of her. 13:18. The girl's gone. Was she that dumb? Did she go in or not? We'll see when they carry them out. 13:19. Somehow no one's going in. Another guy, fat, bald, is leaving, though. Wait a second, looks like he's looking for something in his pockets and at 13:20 - 10 seconds. He goes back in for his crummy gloves. 13:20 exactly. This waiting, it's taking forever. Any second now. No, not yet. Yes, now. The bomb, it explodes.
The bomb in the bar will explode at 13:20. Now it's just 13:16. There's still time for some to go in. And some to come out. What is the significance of 13:20? 13:20 refers to the exact time the bomb is set to explode. It creates a sense of impending doom, emphasizing the precision and detachment of the terrorists' planning. How does the poet create tension in these lines? The poet creates tension by juxtaposing the calm passage of time, 13:16, with the knowledge of the bomb's imminent explosion. The casual mention of people entering and leaving the bar heightens the suspense, as the reader knows their lives are in danger. How does the phrase "still time" add to the mood of the poem? The phrase "still time" ironically emphasizes the fragility of life. It suggests the illusion of normalcy while hinting at the irreversible tragedy about to unfold.
The terrorist has already crossed the street. That distance keeps him out of danger. And what a view, just like the movies. What does the line "that distance keeps him out of danger" suggest about the terrorist? It shows the terrorist's calculated detachment and lack of empathy. By physically distancing himself, he avoids both the physical danger and the moral weight of his actions. Why does the poet compare the terrorist's view to the movies? The comparison to the movies highlights the terrorist's detached, voyeuristic perspective. It suggests that he sees the unfolding tragedy as entertainment, trivializing the gravity of human suffering. What is the tone of these lines, and how does it affect the reader? The tone is chilling and matter-of-fact, underscoring the terrorist's cold indifference. This tone shocks the reader, forcing them to confront the calculated nature of such violence.
13:17 and 4 seconds. The short one, he's lucky, he's getting on a scooter. But the tall one, he's going in. How does the poet use contrast in these lines? The poet contrasts the short one who escapes and the tall one who enters the bar, emphasizing the randomness of survival and death. This highlights the arbitrary nature of violence and fate. What do these lines reveal about the terrorist's attitude toward the victims? The terrorist views the victims as mere objects in his plan, observing their actions with detachment. He notes their movements clinically, devoid of empathy or concern. How does the mention of time add to the narrative's intensity? The precise mention of 13:17 and 4 seconds intensifies the suspense, making the reader acutely aware of how close the explosion is, and heightening the dramatic tension.
13:19. Somehow no one's going in. Another guy, fat, bald, is leaving, though. Wait a second, looks like he's looking for something in his pockets and at 13:20 - 10 seconds. He goes back in for his crummy gloves. What role does the fat, bald man play in these lines? The man symbolizes the tragic unpredictability of human behavior. His decision to go back into the bar for crummy gloves seals his fate, showing how small, seemingly inconsequential actions can lead to life-altering consequences. How does the poet use irony in this scene? The man's return for an insignificant item, crummy gloves, adds an element of bitter irony. His decision to retrieve a trivial object contrasts sharply with the grave danger he unknowingly walks into. What does 13:20 - 10 seconds signify? It marks the final countdown to the explosion, building anticipation and dread. The specificity of the time reinforces the inevitability of the tragic event.
The bomb, it explodes. Why is this line so brief, and what effect does it create? The brevity mirrors the sudden, catastrophic nature of the explosion. It delivers a stark, jarring conclusion that contrasts with the preceding detailed observations, emphasizing the devastating finality of the act. How does the poem end, and what is the impact on the reader? The poem ends abruptly, reflecting the swift and brutal end for the victims. The reader is left to grapple with the senselessness and horror of the violence, provoking reflection on the nature of terrorism and human detachment. How does the entire poem's structure prepare the reader for this moment? The poem's structure, with its meticulous countdown and observational tone, builds suspense and unease. Each detail brings the reader closer to the inevitable explosion, creating a sense of helpless anticipation that culminates in the final, devastating line.